Good evening. Welcome to Emo Nightly News, every moment online. Here are the headlines. Memorial service held honoring former minister and Dominica Air and Seaports Authority CEO Ian Pinard. Kalinago territory receives much needed supplies post recent trough system over Dominica. Melissa Skerritt reports progress on Petit Savan housing titles at Bellevue Chopin. Florida's 92 wildfires are posing problems for wildlife rehabilitators. And Roosevelt Douglas Primary crowned schools football champions. Details of these stories and more coming up next. Stay with us.
Across our Caribbean, we're going digital, working smarter and living safer online.
In Dominica, we don't fall for fake prizes. We check before we click.
In Grenada, we verify before we share, keeping our hard-earned money safe from hackers.
In St. Lucia, we report cyberbullying, protecting our children and each other.
In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we report scams fast, protecting our neighbors and our communities.
Together, we're building a cyber-smart Caribbean, keeping our people and our data safe, standing up to scams and cybercrime. We stay connected, but always alert. This message is brought to you by the Caribbean Digital Transformation Project. Stay smart, stay safe. Think Card TP. Visit cardtpconnect.org.
Welcome back. I'm your presenter, Rick Francis, and this is a news broadcast for the 1st of May, 2026. It's a brand new month. Shout out to all the Maybons out there. Hope you have a splendid month. First up in local news, a memorial service was held on Thursday to honor the life and legacy of former minister, former parliamentary representative for the Soufriere constituency, and former DASPA CEO Ian Pinard. Described as a patriotic man and a dynamic and compassionate leader, Pinard was remembered for his unwavering commitment to national development and the people he served. Chairman of the Soufriere Village Council reflected on his influence, describing him as a truly patriotic mentor and confidant who left a lasting impact on the community.
He encouraged me to succeed with kind and encouraging words of inspiration. He contributed immensely to the woman standing here this evening before you, an experienced and well-rounded individual willing to share his wealth of knowledge, along with unlimited shared kindness with every individual encountered, is what Ian will be remembered by today and what his memories will be founded on. I miss those short phone conversations on advice of challenging matters, both personal and professional, that no one knew took place. Your love for country was exhibited on the grounds of the political battlefield, something you never got tired of. You were a true soldier.
Tributes also came from friends and colleagues connected to Petro-Caribe, the Dominican National Lottery, and various community and service groups. Among those paying respects were DASPA Airport Manager Kirsten Pascal, Accountant Juliana Francois, representative of the Point Michel Petro-Caribe Football Club, and friends of the Point Michel Labour Party. Pinard's professional journey was highlighted during the ceremony. He served as sales and marketing manager at Petro-Caribe before returning as general manager from 2021 to 2024. Earlier in his career, he held the position of general manager of the Dominican National Lottery from 2000 to 2007. Sales and marketing manager at the Dominican National Lottery, Ken George, had this to say.
Mr. P, as we call him, he worked tirelessly to strengthen the lottery's business, and he played a major role in making Lotto the household name it is today. But what many of us will remember most is how he carried about people. He invested in his staff. He mentored. He encouraged. He pushed us, sometimes gently, sometimes firmly, to aim higher and to believe we could do more. And because he took the time with his people, many lives truly improved. He also had the vision to take the lottery to a higher level, better system, stronger operation, and a wider reach.
George praised the late Ian Pinard for standing up for employees, cementing his legacy as a leader who genuinely cared for his team.
Under his leadership, the Dominican Lotteries Commission successfully engaged a management contract with Canadian banknote, CBN. Looking at where the lottery stands today, we can say with confidence that this move helped position it as one of Dominica's most significant companies, changing lives and contributing meaningfully to the economy of Dominica. And he did not move unless he knew his employees would be treated fairly. During those contractual negotiations, Mr. Pinard stood up for the staff to ensure that the years of service that will recognize and the gratuity entitlement were protected. Because of that advocacy of Mr. Pinard, many employees today proudly have more than 20 years of service and remain eligible for gratuity. That is not a small thing. That is a legacy of care.
The former minister has been accorded an official funeral which will be held on Friday, the 8th of May, 2026. Residents of the Kalinago territory are beginning to receive much-needed support following the devastation caused by recent heavy rainfall. Jungle Bay Dominica has contributed a generous donation of $2,500, with an additional $2,500 coming from the Jungle Bay Community Fund, made possible through combined efforts of staff and guests. The financial assistance comes as communities across the Kalinago territory continue to grapple with the impact of intense rainfall, which triggered widespread damage of homes, infrastructure, and livelihoods. This timely contribution is expected to aid relief efforts and provide some level of comfort to affected families as recovery continues. In addition, the Rotary Club of Portsmouth, the Gems Foundation, Fort Young Hotel and Dive Resort, and also Secret Bay have partnered to bring much-needed relief to families in the Kalinago territory. On Thursday, 35-gallon bottles of water were delivered to residents in need, reinforcing the importance of access to clean and safe water. Organizers say the initiative highlights how collective action can make a meaningful difference in times of need. Now, let's hear from Communications Officer of the Portsmouth Rotary Club, Kalisha Iran. According to Aaron, discussions are ongoing to expand assistance efforts with plans to provide food supplies in the coming days. Members of the public are being encouraged to contribute to the relief drive through donations of food items. Persons willing to assist can contact Kalisha Aaron at 767-277-2098. That's 767-277-2098. Also happening in local news, Melissa Skerritt, Minister for Housing, has announced steady progress in granting ownership titles to beneficiaries of the Petit Savant resettlement at Bellevue-Chopin. On Tuesday, recipients took a significant step toward home ownership as they signed the agreements of transfer and memoranda of encumbrance, which outlined the conditions tied to their properties. The memoranda of transfer have now been submitted to the land registrar for the insurance of official certificates of title, with the process expected to continue in the coming weeks. The government of Dominica has reaffirmed its commitment to ensuring that all beneficiary households receive full ownership rights at no cost. This initiative forms a critical part of the country's resilient housing policy, designed to empower families, strengthen communities, and provide long-term security of tenure. And excitement filled the air as the highly anticipated Jazz Cation campaign came to a thrilling close, with shoppers across Dominica celebrating weeks of participation, prizes, and big rewards. Taking the top prize was Yvonne Peter, who shopped at Cash and Carry and emerged as the grand prize winner, securing the ultimate Jazz Cation experience, an all-expenses paid luxury getaway at Secret Bay. Also earning recognition as finalists were Candy Barron, who shopped at Best Price, Donna Lewis, who shopped at Fresh Market. The grand draw took place live at Fresh Market on Wednesday, April 29, 2026, with coverage by EmoNews, bringing the excitement directly to viewers. The campaign, which rewarded customers who spent $100 or more, successfully captured the spirit of community, shopping, and opportunity, culminating in an unforgettable finale.
Well, I'm just happy that I won for my dad. I'm grateful for the opportunity to have participated in the draw. I want to say thank you to Fresh Market Fine Foods Inc. for the opportunity, and I know my dad will be very happy to be attending Jazz this weekend.
Organizers extended thanks to all participants and customers who supported the promotion, noting that the success of Jazz Cation highlights the power of engagement and shared excitement. With the curtains closing on this year's edition, anticipation is already building for what's next. And that's all for local news this evening. Stay tuned for regional news coming up next. And now let's take a look at regional news. Direct flights between the United States and Venezuela have resumed after a 7-year suspension, marking a major shift in relations. An American Airlines flight from Miami landed in Caracas Thursday, restoring commercial travel for the first time since 2019. The move follows the capture of former President Nicolas Maduro earlier this year and the reopening of diplomatic ties with the U.S. Embassy. Officials say the route will expand in the coming weeks as both countries look to rebuild travel, business, and economic connections. And things are heating up in Antigua and Barbuda. Prime Minister Gaston Brown has secured a historic 4th consecutive term, leading the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party to a decisive election victory. Preliminary results show the party winning 15 of 17 seats, with the United Progressive Party taking 1 seat and the Barbuda People's Movement holding its position in Barbuda. Brown, in office since 2014, campaigned on economic growth, tourism recovery, and infrastructure development. The early election was called to secure a renewed mandate amid global economic pressures and tensions with the United States over visa restrictions. The results further cement Brown's leadership and his party's dominance in the country's political landscape. France-backed lenders Banque des Territoires and BPI France have announced new financing to expand the Bouillon geothermal power plant in Guadeloupe. The deal includes 3.2 million euros in investment and a 22 million euro loan to support drilling, infrastructure, upgrades, and improved efficiency. The plant, operated by Omat Technologies, currently supplies about 10% of the island's electricity. Plans aim to double its capacity as part of efforts to boost renewable energy and reduce costs. Officials say the project is key to strengthening energy resilience and positioning Guadeloupe as a regional geothermal energy hub. And that's all for regional news this evening. Stay tuned for international news coming up next.
Blast Gaming presents its biggest job whatever. Blast Mystery Progressive. I'm so excited. I can't hide it. In you blast up and rising. And I like it. It going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up and up and up and up.
Play selected games to win in the Blast Mystery Progressive. Pick until you match 3 gems and win one of the 5 cash jackpots. Or you can blast up with the Mystery Progressive jackpot.
It's going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up. Blast Gaming.
And now for international news. Dozens of wildfires burning across Florida are forcing wildlife into neighborhoods and putting pressure on local rescue groups. Officials report 92 active fires as of April 29, with more than 15,000 acres burned in north-central Florida. So far this year, over 1,800 wildfires have scorched nearly 77,000 acres statewide. Driven by drought, animals are fleeing forests in search of food and water, increasing encounters with humans and other wildlife. Rescue centers say they are overwhelmed, taking in animals suffering from burns and smoke inhalation. Experts advise residents not to handle wildlife. Instead, leave out small amounts of water and food and contact trained professionals if animals are injured. Also in international news, South Korea's Shinhan Card has partnered with the Solana Foundation to expand stablecoin payments and Web3 financial services. The agreement, signed April 30 in Seoul, aims to connect traditional banking with blockchain technology using the Solana network. South Korea remains a global leader in crypto adoption, with more than a third of its population active in digital assets and stablecoin use rapidly growing. Shinhan Card plans to test real-world payment systems throughout 2026, focusing on speed, security, and user experience, while exploring non-custodial wallets that give users full control of their funds. The project is part of a broader push to create a hybrid financial system combining traditional finance with decentralized technology. Also happening in international news, China is rolling out strict new controls on drone use in its capital, Beijing, citing security concerns. From Friday, which is today, the sale, rental, and transport of drones into the city will be banned. Owners must register their devices with police, and all outdoor flights will require prior approval, along with mandatory training and testing. Officials say the move is aimed at tightening control over low-altitude airspace, even as drones play an increasingly important role in China's economy. Limited exceptions will apply for approved uses, such as emergency response, but the new rules are expected to disrupt the country's massive drone market, including major manufacturer DJI. And now an update on the humpback whale known as Timmy has been successfully rescued after weeks stranded in the shallow Baltic Sea off Germany. The 13.5-meter whale had repeatedly run aground on sandbars since early March, with early rescue attempts failing and authorities initially losing hope. But following public pressure, 2 private investors funded a complex rescue operation. Specialists and divers carefully guided the whale into a water-filled industrial barge using straps and a newly dug channel. Timmy was then transported to deeper waters near Denmark, where he was safely released and able to swim away on his own. And that's all for international news this evening. Stay tuned for the sports segment coming up next.
Tico, that's $800. Cash or card?
When cash is low, Tico is still ready.
Always card, Chalo. Would you like a copy of the receipt?
No, Chalo. NBD already sent me the alert and I'll see it on Mo Banking later. That is it. From card to farm. Power your business with the NBD Small Business Credit Card. Your partner, your bank.
And now for the sports segment. Roosevelt Douglas Primary School is the new champion of the National Bank of Dominica Sports Division Primary Schools Boys Division 1 football competition. They secured a 2-1 victory over St. Luke's Primary School on Thursday, April 30th, 2026 at Benjamin's Park in front of a large crowd. Both teams entered the finals as zone winners, but the first half ended goalless, with strong defensive play on both sides. Roosevelt Douglas stepped up in the second half. Michael Charles opened the scoring and Captain Omari Caesar added a second goal to give his team a comfortable lead. St. Luke's responded late, with Kai Thomas scoring in the final minutes, but it was not enough. Roosevelt Douglas held on to claim the championship title. Omari Caesar was named Most Valuable Player for his outstanding performance. Dominica State College has been crowned champions of the 2026 Secondary Schools Under-20 Cricket Championship. They secured the title on first innings against Northeast Comprehensive School in the final, played on Friday at Benjamin's Park. Batting first, DSC declared on 196 for 8, with solid contributions from Edmund Moranci and Isinio Fontaine. NECS struggled in response, bowled out for just 60, despite a top score from Nian Davis. In the second innings, DSC posted 157 for 8, led by a dominant 96 from Isinio Fontaine. NECS fought back with the ball, but time ran out. The match ended in a draw, with DSC claiming victory on first innings to lift the championship trophy. And finally in sports, Southeast FC delivered impressive performance last night, securing a commanding 5-1 victory over mighty Avengers FC. The team showed strong control throughout the match, combining sharp attacking movements with precise finishing to capitalize on their chances. Javid George was named Player of the Match for his standout performance. And that's all for the sports segment this evening. Stay tuned for the weather report coming up next.
Welcome to Portsmouth, the home of jazz and Creole.
This is where everything starts to build. And just a few minutes away,
on May 3rd, this entire space transforms.
Into music, into style, into a feeling you don't want to miss. Jazz and Creole, proudly presented by the government of Dominica. And it all happens right here. The artists performing on the main stage. From Jamaica, Taurus Riley, the Singy King King, a voice that moves generations, and the Black Soil Band. Also from Jamaica, Dean Fraser. When the sax hits, everything slows down. From the USA, the Manhattans. Timeless souls, effortless, unforgettable. Dominica's Princess of Song, Mikel Henderson, a voice that commands every moment. Dominica's neo-soul queen, Lily Octave, smooth, rich, and completely her own. Pure energy from Dominica, swinging stars. When they start, you move. The pulse of the streets. From Dominica, rhythm knockers, raw percussion, iron-strong energy. From Dominica, Fael Landa, honest sound, real connection. From Dominica, Janet Jackson, a voice that carries feeling, depth, and presence. And from Dominica, Khadijah Joseph, new energy, a sound you'll feel. This is how we jazz up Creole in Dominica.
May 3rd, 2 p.m., Fort Shirley, Cabritz National Park.
Tickets, VIP $450. At fringe events, $175. General admission, $200. Ages 12 to 17, $75. And children under 12 enter for free. Get your tickets now at dominicafestivals.com and at select outlets in Roseau and Portsmouth. And when you're coming, come for an experience. In fact,
Make it a weekend. Come from Friday. There's lots of available accommodations in the north and plenty to do.
Go whale watching, then slow it down. Snorkel the reefs, then take it inland. Drift through the Indian River and chase a waterfall I syndicate. Then go deeper. Find your way to Paradise Valley. Step into the chocolate factory. Then shift the scene. Red Rocks. Then back to the coast. Coconut Beach, Purple Turtle Beach, Bell Hall Beach. Find a quiet spot, even a secret beach. Ride a horse along the shore. Eat well. Take your time. That's Portsmouth. We'll see you at the Fort Shirley Cabritz National Park on May 3rd from 2 p.m. dressed in your Afro elegance attire.
And now for the weather report from the Dominica Meteorological Service. A high-pressure system is keeping conditions mostly dry across the area, with a mix of sunshine and clouds and only a slight chance of brief isolated showers. Marine conditions remain slight to moderate, with waves up to 5 feet along the east coast and around 3 feet on the west coast. And that's all for the weather report. And as always, stay informed and stay safe. And this concludes tonight's news broadcast for the 1st of May 2026. I'm the presenter, Rick Francis, and on behalf of the entire newscast, we say thank you for viewing. This is EmoNightly News, every moment online. Have a good night.